Welcome dear students. Today we are going to discuss an important topic on caste politics, understanding reservation policy in India. This lecture will comprise of following objectives: to understand the meaning of caste and structure of caste system in Indian context, to understand the basis and history of caste based reservations in India, and to know the constitutional provisions of reservations in India. Dear students, to begin with caste, it became the identity of an individual in recognizing the affiliation within the society. Caste and practice of untouchability are the stringent cultural practices followed in South Asian countries, in particular to India. Caste was found among all Hindus across the subcontinent, where it becomes metaphor of tradition and rigidity. It finds in religious texts of the Hindus. Caste system is a socio-economic system that shaped the local economies, social and cultural entitlements and political regimes. The Hindu society with its practices made segregation in the communities that are attached to their occupations. Caste-based hierarchy to occupations made untouchability prevalent in society. The everyday communication and transactions among the individuals in the society are restricted due to the differences in gender, caste, religion, language and place. The other differences like place or language does not impact the social communication, rather than the restrictions occurred due to the caste and religion. The civilizational process of the society made individual accept the differences among the religions, but the caste has taken a dominant position, impacted the religions to segregate the individuals. The caste identity made individuals claim or lose the socio-political positions that were meant equally for all. The memberships in these caste groups happen by birth, and mostly the groups are endogamous. The caste politics makes a significant impact on deciding the positions in the society, whether the social positions or the political influences depends much on caste even today in most of the places. The impact of caste in politics is more prevalent and visible in villages than in urban spaces. Dear students, let's now discuss about caste system in India. The castes and communities that are considered to be socially, educationally backward are brought together broadly into three legal categories, namely the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes and other backward classes. Sociologists like Gurieg and M.N. Srinivas have pointed out that the basic unit of Indian society is not Varna or caste, but the subcaste that is based on occupation. Although some kind of social inequalities are universal across time and space, inequalities based on caste identity are uniquely seen in India. Caste system is a social system where people are ranked into groups based on heredity within stratified order. A caste is a closed group whose members are severely restricted in their choice of occupation and degree of social participation. Nowhere in the world is the caste system better exemplified by the degree of complexity and systemic operation than in India. It is evident that the caste system or the Hindu social order gave rise to the differences in society. It is conventional to say that the traditional Indian society was stratified into 4 categories based on birth and occupation. People were categorized according to the caste he or she belongs to, the groups such as Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. The Brahmins are considered as the superior caste, being the priestly community. The social structure defined them as intellectual community, followed by Kshatriyas, a warrior community who were the guardians of the society. The Vaishyas are the business community, followed by Shudras, the service class community. There is a 5th Varna or a category called Ati Shudras, who were called as untouchables, who are considered to be outside the fourfold Varna system, but integral to the social life for ages. These groups are endogamous and dine and marry among the groups. There were stringent laws provided in Manusmriti defining the rules and regulations of the functioning of various castes depending on the hierarchical positions in the society. Untouchability was created among the lower castes because of their traditional occupations. Over centuries, this ladder-like caste system has bred notions of superiority and inferiority, of defense and subordination, of some considered high and some considered low. Such a social order will result in social inequalities and social discrimination, which in turn led to social backwardness among people who were considered to be of low birth and low occupations, resulted in lower representation. Scholars like Andrabhite, M.N. Srinivas and Ghanashyam Shah see social backwardness as the position of the group in terms of economic conditions in a structure and value system related to traditional occupation and lifestyle. Louis Dumont says that the caste system underlies hierarchy, which is the superiority of the pure and impure, underlies separation because the pure and impure must be kept separate, and underlies the division of labor because pure and impure occupations must likewise be kept separate. The whole system is founded on the necessary and hierarchical coexistence of the two opposites. In the hierarchy, whoever enjoys the higher position wants to be in the higher position, and the lower strata always try to move up. This results in a perpetual questioning of the caste order by people considered to be of lower position in the society and hence unequal. Let us now discuss on reservations in India. The policy of caste reservations took shape during the later part of British rule in India during 20th century. The reservations benefit the individual in identified castes designated as socially and economically backward. The nature of caste reservations in India is different from affirmative action policy. The reservations in India prescribe certain statutory quotas in education, employment as well as representative bodies. The reservations were necessary for India to maintain equality as a special provision for the upliftment of the backward caste. Independent India stressed more on this development aspect. The political leaders opined about providing equal space to get just opportunities. In this regard, Jawaharlal Nehru said that, I quote, "Not only must equal opportunities be given to all, but special opportunities for educational, economic and cultural growth must be given to backward groups to enable them to catch up to those who are ahead of them." This question assumed great significance in the debates over creating provisions for the upliftment of the people who belong to socially and educationally backward castes. Making the underprivileged communities to be capable of being equal citizens was denied because of their backwardness. Hence, the discussion of how to make them capable by providing a special space for them was discussed in the Constituent Assembly debates. In this regard, the discussions occurred on providing special treatment in regard to education, in regard to opportunity for employment, and in many other cases where their present backwardness is a hindrance to the rapid development of the country. The backwardness of any social segment must necessarily impede the progress of the rest. The SCs, the STs and OBCs were lagging in education, and due to the lack of proper education, they were not able to claim employment opportunities, and their lack of empowerment and space provided for them, the representation in the political bodies were very less. The leaders demanded that the provision of reservations must be seen as providing them a compensation for the past injustices committed against them instead of a favor, basing on a fair distribution principle. The population belonging to SCs, STs suffered cruelties and oppression in various forms at other hands. History of caste reservations in India. The scheduled castes got the reservations in the Government of India Act 1935. The commencement of this benefit of special reservations practically began in the year 1937, when the Act came into operation and sustained till 1939. From that period till 1946, the Constitution was suspended and the SCs were not in a position to enjoy the benefits which were given to them. The chairman of the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, discussed about the formula to be considered to reconcile different points of view, that there shall be equality of opportunity and that there shall be reservations in favor of certain communities which have not so far had a proper look in, so to say, into the administration. Equality of opportunity as a generic principle should be applicable practically, negating the condition where the administration was controlled by one of the few free and dominant communities. Hence, the drafting committee introduced the word of backward into the Constitution of India, basing on two principles: equalization of opportunity structures and inclusion of excluded and marginalized groups into the mainstream of socio and political life. Now look into the aspect of reservations in the Indian Constitution or constitutional provisions for the upliftment of the marginalized sections. The Indian Constitution addressed the problem of social inequality in two ways. Firstly, by creating specific constitutional provisions that guarantee the rights to a citizen. Secondly, by creating provisions to eradicate the existing social and economic inequalities. The numerical or egalitarian principle is the principle that seeks to give advantage to distribute goods to all, irrespective of their need and ability. For instance, the adult franchise adopted under the Constitution is based on qualified egalitarianism. Article 16(1) envisages that all citizens shall have equality of opportunity in matters relating to the appointment, where everyone could be on an equal platform. But this cannot happen with the physically weak people or the backward people. Thus, reservations reflect the adoption of the concept of proportional equality. It is mentioned that law must be general and abstract, but justice requires attention to the individual case. Hence, Article 14 provides the equality before law and equal protection of the laws. Article 15 prohibits discrimination on grounds of caste. Article 15(1) provides that the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of caste. It provides the protective discrimination, but it should also be reasonable and consistent with the ultimate public interest. Article 16 gives equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Article 16(1) states that there shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state. Article 16(2) prohibits the discrimination in government services on the basis of caste. Article 17 of the Indian Constitution abolishes untouchability. The claim for right to equal opportunity is to promote self-development and to make best use of the capacities that a person is endowed with. B.V. Sharma and Reddy opined that the compensatory justice is not just what the majority owes to the injured minorities, rather it is what the society as a whole owes to the disadvantaged groups. Under these protections, Article 366, clauses 24 and 25 of the Indian Constitution gave a technical meaning to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Clause 24 of Article 366 defines scheduled castes as such castes, races or tribes or parts of or groups within such castes, races or tribes as are deemed under Article 241 to be the scheduled caste for the purposes of this constitution. Clause 25 deals with the scheduled tribes. In exercise of the power conferred upon him by the constitution, the President issued the Scheduled Caste Order of 1950 under Article 341 and Scheduled Tribes Order 1950 under Article 342. Unlike in the case of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, the constitution makers did not define the meaning of backward classes in the constitution, but made a provision in Article 340 for setting up a commission to investigate the conditions of the backward classes. Backward classes are a collection of castes that were backward educationally and socially, which also includes economic backwardness. The central government under the chairmanship of Kaka Saheb Kalelkar set up the first Backward Classes Commission in 1953. Accordingly, the commission formulated 4 criteria to determine whether a caste can be regarded as backward: low social position in traditional caste hierarchy, lack of advancement among major sections of caste, inadequate representation in government service, and inadequate representation in the field of grade and inequality. In 1978, the Janata Party government appointed second Backward Classes Commission under the chairmanship of B.P. Mandal. The committee recommended 27% reservation quota for the other backward classes. For adequate reservation under Article 16(4) has to be ensured. Care should be taken to control the unreasonable, excessive or extravagant reservation, for that would eliminate general competition and affect administrative efficiency. It said that the magnitude of reservations cannot exceed 50% of total posts available. To determine the backwardness of a caste, backward classes consist of group of castes, and the backwardness contemplated by Article 16(4) is mainly social backwardness. In Balaji versus State of Mysore, the court held that caste cannot be a sole criterion for identifying backward classes. It is found out that the caste-based occupation enables to identify their economic status rather than caste hierarchy, as mentioned by Mark Galanter. Accordingly, the reservations to the SCs, STs and OBCs for direct recruitment on all India basis by open competition is given at the rate of 15%, 7.5% and 27% respectively. The distribution is fixed, keeping in view the proportion of their population in the concerned state or union territory. To conclude, the Constitution provides the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes in 2004 with wide-ranging powers and functions in regard to the matters pertaining to SCs and STs, along with National Commission for other backward classes in 1993. These constitutional safeguards are important to understand the backwardness to promote the underprivileged sections towards an equitable society. This discussion on caste politics and reservation policy in India is an important component to study the provisions to safeguard the marginalized sections and understand the importance of inclusive society by accepting the differences with a just approach. So, in today's lecture, we made an attempt to understand the concept of caste and structure of caste system in India. We briefly touched upon the need of reservation principle for the marginalized communities in general and in the Indian context in particular. The discussion on reservations during the colonial era was also touched upon in this lecture. At last, we looked into the important aspect of today's lecture, which is the provisions of reservation policy in the Constitution of India, which is framed in different parts and different articles. I hope you enjoyed today's lecture. I will be meeting you for the next lecture soon. Thank you.